What's up, everybody? Welcome to Forgive and Forget, and my name is Hal Sadi, aka Khalu, and today, Tuesday, we have a special guest, and normally on Tuesdays we're going to be doing something else, but when there's a guest, Tuesdays is most likely when we will post them. Okay, that way you keep that in your minds. Now, this guest he's a buddy of mine. His name is Karsky. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's a former MMA fighter, and he is a current police officer. Okay? You'll hear all about it in there. If you want to follow Paul, you can follow him on Instagram at Karsky28. That's Karsky with a K-A-R-S-K-Y 28. Now, please welcome Paul to the show.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is my good buddy, Paul Karsky. You may call him Paulie. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a former MMA fighter, and where do you work now?
I work for Page Police Department out in Arizona.
Whoa, Arizona. How far is that, dude?
I think from St. George it's about 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow. So you're like going to go away?
Probably.
Oh,
I'll be
man.
coming down just to train, though.
Okay. How often are you going to be coming down to train then?
As soon as I get a set schedule, because my first day over there with the new department will be on Tuesday. So as soon as I get a set schedule, I'll know when I'm going to come down.
Oh, man. When you said Page, I thought that was in Utah. I'm like, oh.
No way. Utah, underpaid, underappreciated.
Yeah? Oh, man. That sucks, dude. All right. So, okay, you're going to have to help me out here. So you're a low talker, so I need you to either talk very loud or just keep this thing right in your mouth over here. So tell me, where did you grow up, dude?
I was born in Stockton, California. Shout out Diaz Brothers. And then I moved all over. My dad was in the military growing up, and then just my parents unstable, so we moved all over. But I lived in San Diego for a little bit. Grew up in Fullerton, California for a little bit.
Okay.
But I spent about 20 years in Victorville, California.
Victorville. How was Victorville?
Victimville, man. No, when I was growing up, it was cool. This is a desert town, so you can ride your dirt bikes through the neighborhood pretty much, if there was a neighborhood there now.
Yeah.
And then growing up, just turning a big city, I think when the laws changed, they started running people out of L.A., like all the felons and stuff, so they started coming up to the high desert.
Oh,
so lots of fights, stabbings at the high school.
really, dude?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
But I didn't last too long in high school anyway. So
Oh, you dropped out?
I did. I dropped out in 10th grade.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Dropping out?
Yeah.
I didn't have parents that really would keep on me for school, so it was
Okay.
just my mom. I grew up with a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
So dropping out was cool. I turned my passion. I was fighting at 16 years old for MMA.
Whoa, dude. That's crazy. So 16 years old. What was your first martial art?
Wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay. That explains a lot. So you dropped out of high school. You weren't not a big fan, or you just didn't. What was the reason behind it?
Man, I was just a shithead kid. You know, I was lost. I didn't have a lot of guidance. I was always wanting to be cool. So I just couldn't stay in school. I couldn't sit still and learn, and I'd rather have done other things. I started working, and then when I was fighting when I was 16, I was like, I'm making money. I don't need school, man.
Okay. Okay. By the way, if you're watching, there's not a random kid. This is Paul's son. Okay, so we're not.
We found this kid walking around.
All right. So you're 16 and fighting. Man, how do you like that?
Oh, I loved it, man. I started training when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
So, and that really changed my life. I think fighting MMA kept me out of jail growing up. So it's a pretty funny story how I got involved in it.
Okay.
But yeah, I started.
Let's go, dude.
So I was like 12 years old. I met this kid named George.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a gym called Cardio Fit where I
Okay.
was from, and he said, you want to go use a sauna? And I didn't know what a sauna was. So he was the old school one with heat rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You pour water on it to keep it hot, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of see where I'm going with this. So he said, he goes, well, what happens if you pee on it? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't do this. So if Tyson's listening, don't tell him. So Tyson's my first coach. So George pees on it, smokes this whole thing out full of piss,
no.
right? It was disgusting. People running out. Oh, God, what the hell? Then this big freaking yoked out black dude comes in and threatens us, takes us in this little room, and we're shaking, dude. And I'm like freaking out. This dude's arms are as big as my head. So that turns out to be my first wrestling coach. so I give it a week or two because I found out that they do wrestling of some sort. I really didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I show up to wrestling class with George there one day, and it's in the back room of this gym. So it's a full-on facility, just weightlifting. They have racquetball, a daycare. So I show up. It's like in the back room of this gym, and I walk in. There's 300-pound dudes there. There's a scrawny dude with flame tattoos, and I'm like, oh, shit. And they're just staring at me like, hey, daycare's upstairs. I'm like, I'm here to wrestle. Tyson walks in, and that's how I got into it, man. They're playing old Pride videos. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So they're playing old Pride videos on the TV in the back, and I'm like, I'm going to die.
Oh, man, that's funny. So your first impression of all that is seeing all these huge dudes and then that lanky dude with the fire tattoos. And what made you think, man, I actually want to do this?
I don't know what was going through my mind, man. I remember Tyson yelling at me, dude, for the first time. And I'm like, man, I guess I got to get buff, right? And then back when this was early on 2000s, right? So not a lot of people knew what MMA was. Like, they're like, what is that? Like cockfighting? Like, yeah, with humans.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know what it was. So I go in there and I'm like, maybe I'm too skinny because I was probably, I don't even remember, 6 foot, 150 pounds.
At 12 years old, dude?
Yeah, I was big, dude. Like,
Wow,
tall
dude.
and lanky. Like, I had no muscle, man. And I thought, man, I better start juicing or something. I just thought, I don't know. There was a lot of dudes. They look like they're fresh out of prison or bar room. A lot of Tank Abbott looking dudes, right? And then you got that one dude who's a welder by like daytime and then a cage fighter at nighttime, you know, and I'm like, man, I need tattoos or something now. But I don't know. I tried it, and I cried my first class.
Really?
Man. I continuously cried, and I was like, man, I don't know. But something about getting choked and, you know, just taken advantage of by these in a good way.
Yeah.
These big dudes, I was hooked, man, and I don't know what it was.
Oh, dude, I know the same feeling. When I first started jiu-jitsu, that's exactly what happened to me. I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I got to come back. So... And I still go. So there's something about it, dude. Something about dudes getting choked out. Something cool about it, right? So you're 12 years old, dude. Were you doing multiple things, or was it just wrestling?
So I was doing strictly wrestling, and I was trying to wrestle for the school, but I couldn't stay in school long enough to make teams. So I was wrestling, and then I got into freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling.
Okay.
So I was doing that when the wrestling season would be over. I'd go to freestyle season and do that. And then I was getting into, it was just basically grappling back then. It was what they're calling it, but I was getting into grappling, and then I was trying submission tournaments, but some tournaments I'd get confused, you know, stay on my back, be off my back, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was doing both at the same time, and then learning how to strike, but we didn't strike too much.
Okay. What's the difference between regular wrestling and Greco-Roman?
Greco-Roman's all upper body, so you can't touch the legs in Greco-Roman.
Really? How do you take them down?
So lots of body
really?
takedowns, pickups, slams.
There's no... wow, okay.
So you can't shoot, you can't grab the legs. So.
Wow, okay.
I did good because I was so tall, but some of these short, stocky dudes get up underneath me, and I'm like, but when I got under, I could pick them up.
Okay, yeah, just like with your little pinky finger. Wow, dude. When was your first professional fight?
16 years old.
16 years old? Wow, dude.
So we were driving to a place called Khalu Casino, man.
Okay.
In the middle of, this was Shokawa Casino, the middle of nowhere, Nevada.
Okay.
Or California, excuse me.
Okay.
We're driving far out. My coach is driving, was Tyson Johnson. He was the ring announcer for this show.
Okay.
And he trained under the owner of the show. So that guy calls him and asks him, hey, you got any guys coming up to fight?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. What do you need? He says, well, I had a dropout. I need a guy to fight. So he looks over. I remember we were driving his Ford Taurus, man. Those were still cool.
Yeah.
So he looks over at me and he goes, I'll call you back. And I'm like, just a little kid beat bopping. I don't know what you're listening to, like Pat Benatar or something, whatever. It was cool. And he goes, hey, you want to fight? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, why not? It's like, I think they're gonna pay you $250. I'm like,
no.
oh dang, I'm about to be loaded.
Yeah.
On a date. So I said, yeah, why not? I didn't know how to punch or anything. So that's how it all started. So he calls the promoter back and tells him, oh yeah, he'll fight. So I show up and there's no weigh-ins, man. I was 165 pounds, I think. The guy that comes in, he's 220 pounds, freaking tattoos everywhere. I'm like, oh, this is going to suck. So I ended up winning by decision.
Oh, you won?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Man, I don't know. I just used wrestling. I kept taking him down. My eyes were swollen shut from getting punched in the knee because knees to the head on the ground were still legal.
Oh, no.
So I remember just getting reversal after reversal, takedown, and then my face was swollen shut.
Oh,
I threw up for 2 hours in the parking lot after.
Wow, dude.
But I ended up winning by decision.
Still won even.
So.
Oh, man. That 40 pounds, dude, that's a lot of weight on you.
Dude, he was a big dude, and he freaking hit me so goddamn hard, dude. And I remember being scared shitless because Quentin Rampage Jackson's in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, my God, dude, this guy's going to beat my ass. And then Ken Shamrock comes up to me in the hallway, and he sees me shaking and warming up and shit. And he gives me some words of advice, which I can't remember because I'm so freaking jacked up. Dude. He's like, you'll be fine. Size doesn't matter. I started with no size. And I'm like, okay.
Okay. I mean, if he says it, he's super jacked, so.
Yeah.
Man. Wow, dude, I still can't believe, like, you just fought in, like, a moment's notice and then, like, well, I mean, you must have been training a lot to be able to do that.
Yeah, I was just basically training all the time with grappling. Like, I fell in love with it. I wasn't going to school, so I was training a lot, and I was watching a lot of Pride, so I felt confident.
Okay. Okay. Was the UFC a thing back then, or it hadn't started?
It was, yeah, but it wasn't as what it is today.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it was big. I mean, you had like Tito Ortiz.
Okay, so the
names.
Tito Ortiz.
Yep.
Okay, so it was starting to catch on.
Yeah, I want to say maybe this was around. God, I'm bad with dates, but maybe around. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Guy Metzger, but Tito Ortiz and him had beef, and then that's how the Shamrock and Tito started. Their beef. So this is probably around that era.
Okay, man,
good names.
Yeah, dude, I love that era, man. It's crazy you started fighting around that time, man. So after that first fight, what was going through your head?
Dude, I don't know. I just couldn't believe I did it, and I won.
Yeah.
And then I was hooked, man. I wanted to go back to the gym. I fought 1 month later.
1 month?
Yep. In another show in the middle of California. And I fought a dude, and we beat the shit out of each other for the whole fight, and we ended up getting a draw.
Oh, wow, dude.
And after that, like, I was just hooked, man. I couldn't get enough. I had my first pay-per-view fight when I was 17, I believe.
Whoa, dude. So you started, like, what promotion was it in?
The pay-per-view was King of the Cage.
Okay.
So,
I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, but that name, it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, a lot of guys from King of the Cage carried on to UFC. So Quentin Jackson, Joe Stevenson, who was a training partner and a buddy of mine.
Okay.
Like, they all went on to UFC from this promotion.
Okay. And this is all going on in Victorville while you were there?
I was training in Victorville. Mm-hmm. So, and then, these fights were all over. That fight was in Southern California at a place called Saboba Casino. Okay. So this was back when MMA was not allowed to be held on anything but Indian ground.
Okay. So, really?
Yeah, MMA fights were still banned in California at this time.
Wow.
So you had to travel to go freaking fight on a reservation somewhere.
Wow, dude, that's crazy, man. Oh, so you got 2 or 3 fights in, and then you're like, this is my thing. When did you stop fighting?
Oh man. So I just fought on and off. I was fighting consistently to make a living for a long time. And then I started having too many kids and getting broken. And so I think my very last fight was 2015. And I retired with a title. Okay, nice,
nice. What's the title? Like,
it was the light heavyweight belt for
light heavyweight.
Yep.
Okay, nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, when I can make light heavyweight.
Look at you, big boy. Oh man. So, I skipped a little bit over there, but so in between that, so you're fighting full time, or
I was fighting full time. Yeah, I got to travel around, meet some freaking awesome people, sign some boobs. Don't tell your mom. I had a great time. I was going all over the United States, traveling, fighting, different promotions.
I seem to remember you telling me you were in the Army. Was it, or was that? Am I making that up?
No, I wasn't. I signed up, dude, and then I freaking missed the bus.
Oh, really?
My dad was in the military. My dad's dad was in the military. I let
Yeah.
everybody in my family down, man. I'm just a big old failure.
Dude, just a big letdown, Paulie, man. Oh, man. Okay. So why do I think that you were in the Army? Like,
I don't know, man.
oh man, I guess I just,
I talked about it, I think, with another guy at the gym.
Okay,
before.
that's probably it. So you fought pretty much what year was it when you started when you were 16?
Oh yeah, so I want to say that was 2003 or so. I want to say.
Ooh, dude, you fought for 12 years.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So.
What's your best memory when you were fighting?
My best memory when I was fighting.
If you remember it.
Oh man, funny story, right? So I don't know why I remember this, but I just I get knocked. My first pay-per-view, I got knocked out cold.
Okay.
Like 35 seconds.
Ah, dude.
I was arrogant, undefeated,
Mhm.
right? And I go out there and I fight this dude nicknamed the Wrecker. There should have been a red flag right there,
Yeah.
right? So I go out, fight this dude. He knocks me out cold, freaking, right? I got Philip Miller in my corner, he was 16-0 at the time, fought for UFC.
Okay.
He was on Battle Dome. Do
Okay.
you remember that show?
No, but
It was like American Gladiator.
Okay,
So
okay.
he won that.
okay.
And then I got a guy named Dale Breeze, rest in peace, in my corner. Dale Breeze is drunk. So I'm backstage, and I'm waking. I'm like coming to, and I got this dude kissing on my neck, telling me he loves me. Everything's going to be okay. It's Dale Breeze, who's
Okay.
drunk as shit.
Yeah.
Philip Miller, like, dude, give him some space. But I remember that like yesterday for some reason. But
Okay. Oh, that's like you recently remember that. Okay.
But
How many fights in did you have at the time?
yeah, that time I want to say 4 or 5.
4? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know how many I have now. Probably 50, 60 fights I think I ended up having over the course of my career.
Whoa, dude, you're like a big veteran, man. That's crazy.
I'm big, but yeah.
So when did you decide to I'll join the police force or anything like that?
I got into law enforcement in 2015, right after I retired from fighting.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a cop when I was younger, but I was too much of a shithead, and I was
Yeah.
having too much fun fighting and traveling. So I got my GED later on. I want to say like 2013 or
Okay.
so. So I waited a long time, and then that's when I knew, like, freak, I need to do something with help with benefits and stuff. Take care of these
Yeah.
kids I got, man.
Yeah.
So
how many kids did you have at the time?
At that time, I want to say I had 3.
3. Okay, you have 6 total, right?
I have 6 total. Yeah.
Wow, dude. 3 kids. How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 14. She just
14?
turned 14
Okay.
December.
Okay, man. Wow.
So,
Big daddy, huh?
yeah, man.
Okay.
She's easy, man. I was blessed, man. I don't know how I got lucky with a good teenager, but
That's awesome, man.
I'm waiting for one of these freaking spawns. They're gonna go nuts.
One's gonna do something.
Yeah.
Oh man. So where were you living at when you joined the police force?
I was living in Victorville,
Victorville?
and then I ended up moving to Ely, Nevada,
Nevada. Okay.
the middle of nowhere.
So why are you traveling around back then? Like when you quit fighting, why are you traveling around so much? Just a job?
Just a job. I moved for work, and then at the time, to be a cop in California was super freaking competitive. It was
Okay.
like trying to be a fireman, man, almost
Okay.
impossible.
Yeah.
Like, you had to be picture perfect, and I wasn't.
Okay.
I think LAPD disqualified me indefinitely at one time.
Really?
Yeah, because of marijuana usage. Now look at
Oh.
all their cops. No, I'm just kidding. But this was back when it was super competitive, super hard. So I left. I wanted to leave the state anyway because California. Well,
Yeah.
it's California.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to get out.
How different is living in Nevada than it is in California?
When I moved to Nevada for the first time, I moved to Ely, which was super rural, super middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
It was a lot different. It wasn't that big city life. It wasn't that hustle and bustle. So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was
Okay.
a lot of getting used to, though.
Yeah.
Freaking my first winter there, it was -18. I think I freaked out.
Really?
Yeah, growing up in Southern California my whole life.
Yeah, dude, I would not expect that in Nevada either.
No way, man.
Wow, man. So, geez, -8. I still can't believe that, man. So when you were in, because I lived in LA for about 8 years, and Victorville. How far is Victorville from? Is Victorville considered LA?
No, it's still considered Southern California, but I want to say I remember reading the sign this day. I think it says 60 miles to downtown Los Angeles.
Oh man, that's a little far.
So they
Okay.
consider Victorville the high desert.
Okay, so is that place like? Well, you're saying like it was a big adjustment from the going from Victorville to Ely, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot different because Victorville now is just as big probably as
Okay.
like LA. Like
Okay.
it's huge.
okay, so it was an adjustment because I guess for California, it's probably the smaller town, air quotes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not as bad as like Bakersfield, but it's still California.
Okay,
it's still
man.
pretty busy.
How long were you in Ely?
We lasted about a year and a half, I think, and then
Okay.
that first winter we got to get the hell out of there, man. So we ended up moving to Las Vegas.
Okay, how old were you when you got married to your wife?
This wife,
Oh, you got more than one?
I got two. This is my
Okay.
second wife.
Okay.
So, and this is the last time I'm doing it, man.
Yeah, dude. So how old were you when you got married the first time?
The first time I was 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, because I
Well,
wasn't
young
old enough
buck.
to take shots. And I remember my buddy buying me shots.
So I'm guessing that didn't last too long.
No, so we met. We were 14-ish when we first met.
Okay.
And then she got pregnant somehow. I don't remember. I don't know if I was even there. But she got pregnant. And then we thought, oh, we got to get married. And then we got married. And then we
Yeah.
were married 2 years. And that was
Okay.
it. So we just became very different people.
Okay. And then how old were you when you got married to your current wife?
I was 23 or 24.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
was quick after my
Well, it was quick, but then like you're 35, right?
34. Yeah.
34. So
Yeah.
I mean, you've been married for like 11, 12 years.
We've been married. We got married in 2011.
11,
Shit,
so-
she's gonna kick my ass. Man. I think it was 2011. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So,
So
almost
we hit 10
almost
years
11,
this
dude.
December.
Oh, this December. Oh, so congratulations,
Thanks, man.
So that I mean, you've making it's working, right?
Yeah,
So-
it's been freaking up and down, man, but it's fine. I think we're getting the kinks out of it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Hey, dude, that's what marriage is, right? Like
Right.
you just work on everything. It's fun though, right?
Yeah, it has its moments, man.
Yeah. Okay. So you moved to Vegas. What year is this?
Vegas. We moved to Vegas 2016, somewhere around there.
Okay, that's pretty recent. Okay.
Yeah.
How long were you in Vegas?
We left Vegas 2016 to 2000. We came up here in 2019.
Okay. So you were there 3 years.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about living in Vegas?
Man, the convenience for
Yeah.
whatever you want and need,
Yeah.
man. I mean, we'd freaking 2:00 in the morning. You're like, I think I need a steak, man. You
Mhm.
can go get it, you know.
Yeah.
And, buying wine and stuff in the grocery store. That's
Yeah.
amazing, right? Take little things for granted, right?
Yeah, dude.
Walk in the grocery store, you're like, man, I need to have a drink and I need to play slots.
Yeah.
You got it all right
Right
there.
there.
I remember walking into Vegas, the Albertsons, you could sample freaking wine on Sundays.
Really?
Yeah, we're here. Oh my gosh,
no, dude,
no way.
It's a whole different story.
I
here,
think you go to
man.
prison here if you try wine on Sunday.
Oh man. So what's the thing that you like the least about Vegas?
Tourism.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to go downtown, it's just overpriced and overcrowded, right? I mean,
Okay.
but when you live in Vegas, it's a lot different because then you're on the outskirts, you know all the local places. So
Okay. So you're still training even though you stopped fighting, right?
yeah, I try to train. I was training every day for a while, and then so I get to coach too.
Okay.
I get to help out with coaching. So yeah, I still train.
Where you trade at Extreme Couture in Vegas? Is that am I
I trained
correct?
at Robert Drysdale's gym.
Okay,
So Robert Drysdale's, and then his black belt, who's freaking amazing, which is Greg Keltick. He opened his own dojo in Vegas on the north side where I was. So I got to train a little bit with him, and then I was training with a guy named Phil Dunlap who was running a gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I was training a little bit over
Okay,
there.
okay.
And then Chad Lyman, who teaches,
Yeah.
he's came to the gym. He teaches at Extreme Couture, but he
Okay.
did a lot with cops. So
Okay. Okay. So
involved
that's how
myself
you
with
got
Chad.
involved?
Yep.
Okay.
Chad's
okay.
amazing, man.
Yeah, I took one of his seminars. He's
Yeah.
The way he breaks things down is pretty interesting. Cause,
Super knowledgeable.
yeah,
man.
dude, and it's
Yeah.
very logical too, right?
Right.
Which is something I didn't. Which is it makes sense, but at the time I'm like, oh my god, I never would have thought of looking at it
Yeah.
that way.
Did you do the Drysdale Seminar too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still get a man crush every time Drysdale walks in the
Yeah.
room. Man, I'm like, oh, that's Drysdale.
Was he your like main coach when you were there, or
Drysdale?
Yeah.
No. So I actually didn't get to see Drysdale too much when I was there because I was training at the other gym.
Okay.
But yeah. So I just kind of floated around when I was in Vegas,
Yeah.
like a lost soul, man. I just was lucky to make enough friends and, be nice to everybody. So I always kind of had a home to go somewhere.
That's awesome.
But
man.
I would just go bounce around when I was in Vegas. I didn't really have a set place.
Okay.
I didn't have a set place till I moved to St. George. So.
Okay. So you moved here in 2019. So you were what police station were you working at again?
When I moved here, I was working for Arizona, so Mojave County. So I worked on the border in between Nevada and St. George.
Okay. I know where.
And then I'd go out to Colorado City, if you know the history of that place.
Yeah. It's a little. I don't want. Let's call it. It's just very interesting. Let's call it interesting.
Their bakery's amazing though. If you ever make it out there, it's called Barry Knowles.
Barry
and they
Knowles?
make their dough fresh for their pizza. So
Okay. All right, man.
if you get over the weirdness, just sit down and look at your pizza, man.
Yeah, just look at the pizza. Don't look at anything else. So.
Yeah.
So you've been a cop for 7 years?
About, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started in corrections. So I worked in the state prison when I lived in Ely, Nevada.
Okay.
So, and then when I moved to Vegas, I transferred to another state prison down there. And then I worked a little bit with Gang Squad.
Okay.
So that was super fun. And then I went to the county sheriff's office. And then I transferred to Arizona. And then instead of taking Bullhead City, I'm like, well, there's a position on the Strip.
Yeah.
And then I made that mistake in 2019 when I moved up here.
So you were working on the Strip?
Yeah, so the Arizona Strip is what they call it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, I thought you were working at the Vegas Strip.
No.
I'm like, ooh, that must have been rough. So what's it like being a corrections officer?
Oh, man, that's a different world, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're everything, right? You're like a janitor, a counselor, a father. I mean, because you're cleaning up after these guys. You're feeding these guys. You're breaking up fights. It's like living with kids, man.
Yeah.
So
was it something you enjoyed?
I did when I went to like the gang part of it, and then we were only like we'd get called out to the main yard like when we were doing cell extractions and stuff like that. I enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
Go figure, right? Forcing people to do stuff. But no, like when I worked like as a general corrections officer, like when I was serving food and shit, I felt less than, I guess.
Okay.
So it's not for everybody. I felt like, God, I'm freaking this dude's maid, and he freaking was out there committing crimes.
Yeah.
Because there's some real pieces of work in there, and then there's
imagine.
dudes that are in there for low level, like felony DUIs or something like that. Those guys are whatever, but the people like I just didn't want to be around like child molesters and shit like that.
That must be weird. Do you get to like bond with the prisoners at all, or no?
I wouldn't say bond, but you build a rapport with them definitely.
Okay.
So, and then some of them, like when I was working gangs, it was real important to have a rapport with some of these guys because then they would tell you things that you shouldn't know. You know. So, but it was good. You know, you give respect and you get respect, right? I mean, they are people that have messed up in society, but and as long as you treat them accordingly, you're going to get respect.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't go in there like these 21-year-old kids who think they're going to change the world, it's like you're in prison. You're not changing anything. They've already been sentenced. You're not here to punish them.
Yeah.
You know,
so what's it like working at a gang squad then?
It's fun. You build a good relationship. Like one of them's still my best friend to this day.
Really?
And like two of them actually. So you build a good close-knit group, and then it's fun because you're investigating, you're listening to phone calls, you're going through mail. Like it's fun because you're basically
pretty much a detective kind of thing.
So it's cool.
Okay. What do you have to do any like undercover sort of stuff or
No.
Okay.
Or else I would have been signed up.
So after Gang Squad, you said you were at the Arizona Strip?
No, so I went to sheriff's office in Pahrump, Nevada, if you know where that is. Most people know it because of the whorehouses, but prostitution's legal there.
Yeah.
So I transferred to that sheriff's office out there, and I worked in the county jail, which is different than prison because you get everybody fresh off the street.
Yeah, everybody messing up on just like random stuff. What's that like? Is it at this point, are you like, oh man, I don't like what I was doing over there, but this is a little... a little more easy going, or what's the feel like?
So my intention when I went there was to go to patrol, but I ended up in the jail and then stuck in the jail. But it's different because, I mean, the prison, everybody's a felon, and it is what it is. They're all, convicted. The county jail, on the other hand, they're all innocent until proven guilty. They're all awaiting trial and things like that. So, and then you get them fresh off the street into booking, because I worked booking a lot. And so you're getting these dudes spun out of their mind, coming in, fighting you and stuff like that. So it's a little more high pace, a little more fun, I would say.
Yeah, I'm guessing your fighting days are coming back a little bit around this time.
Right. It was cool. Like, I've always been able, like, going into law enforcement with my background was always pretty easy, because I can have a use of force and then come down like, you okay, man? And, like, render first aid. You know? I was able to, like, tone myself back down. Where some of these guys, they get in a fight and it's like their adrenaline's through the roof.
Yeah, you've been through the whole ringer, right? So it's like, okay, I know how to handle this part.
Right.
Yeah. How old were you when you got your black belt?
Oh, I got my black belt in 2015. So I was in my, I don't know, 20s.
Oh, so you just finished.
Late 20s, yeah.
Pretty much that's when you retired?
Yep. I was retired.
Is there, what was the hardest part for you to, like, because, like, some people just, like, say, man, I'm going to get this belt and then whatever, right? But a lot of, there's not that many black belts. So what's the, for you, what was the hardest thing about getting there?
Wearing a gi. I didn't wear a gi, too much. So then I just wanted to fight, and I never cared about having a belt, to be honest with you. And then when I moved and I wanted to run my own school, that's when I was like, God, I guess I should probably try to be a black belt, right? So when I moved to Ely, Nevada, I just became a black belt, so I got to run my own little jiu-jitsu team up there. So that was cool. But the hardest part probably was wearing a gi, going out and try to compete in a gi, because I never wore one, and I was always traditionally a no-gi guy. And I was in love, still am to this day, if you've been in any of my classes, but I'm in love with leg locks and heel hooks and stuff. Dude. So, and that's frowned upon in gi. So, that was the hardest part.
I have an idea about this, but why is it frowned upon with the gi? Because it's so easy to get tangled?
Yeah, I guess just the control. Like, it's easier to control somebody.
Okay.
I'm not even sure, man. That's probably, it's somewhere along the Gracies or ones frowned upon that.
Probably, something always comes down to that, right?
Yeah.
So do you still feel like you want to, like, have your own gym or?
No, I have no interest in it, man. So, I don't know. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm pretty insecure, like, when it comes to teaching and stuff. Yeah. Like, I always look around like, God, they don't like my technique, man. They don't like what I'm teaching. Especially Zane, when he's sitting there all picture perfect, man. I'm like, quit judging me, man. Do you not like this? But, no, I really don't have interest, because I've been around that ownership type thing. I've seen some of these guys, and it's a struggle, and worrying about members and retention and all that stuff. Man, I just don't want any part of it.
You had your fill of it.
Yeah, like, I don't mind coaching and stuff like that, but I just don't want any part of running a gym. And I saw what my coaches went through, and just,
Okay. So 2019. So have you been at Fusion since 2019?
As soon as I got here, pretty much I went to Fusion. So it was between Ace and Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson was running pretty much his own gym for a while, just straight Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And I love Jake, dude. He's amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to still once in a while spar competitively. And Ace and I have a lot of mutual friends, dude. We could sit there and talk about history like all day long, dude.
Okay.
But yeah, so I went with I found out that Jake will come over and roll and stuff like that. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go to Aces, man.
Yeah.
So I've been at Fusion MMA St. George since 2019, and dude, Ace is amazing. Ace and Jen, dude, I love them.
Yeah, dude, they're awesome.
I owe them so much, dude. They open armed me, and I came in and just felt like family since day one, man. And all their kids are freaking amazing. And Christian and Cameron, dude, they're studs, man. I'm scared of those kids.
Dude, they're so young, and they're like trained killers.
Dude, Cameron's a little freak, dude. He doesn't roll much, but I've rolled with that. That dude will catch you in some weird stuff, dude. He's a stud.
I've never rolled with him. I drilled like drilled with him like the moves and stuff, but that was it.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's a killer, and like he's all wiry too. But
Dude, he is super, super wiry. And then Christian, of course, is just a freaking animal, dude. Once he goes pro, dude, I'd watch out.
Yeah, he's gonna be a serious contender, man.
Yeah.
Man. So when you moved out here, you were working in Arizona. Pahrump, was it?
No, Mojave County.
Mojave County.
Yep.
Okay. So how long were you at the Mojave County?
A little over, probably 2 years or so, something like that.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And this whole time you were there, and then so the new place you're going to, this is just the recent change.
Yeah. So they call it a lateral transfer. So I'm transferring to agencies. So these guys pay way more money and they care more.
Okay.
So I'm staying within Arizona to keep my retirement, basically.
Okay.
Because I have retirement in Arizona. So
Okay.
It just transfers.
Okay, that's pretty cool, man. What's the best part about your job?
Man, do I give you like an interview response? No, just
give me the poly response.
Man, I don't know. The best part, I honestly say, is just interacting with your community, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Like going in and shed good light on law enforcement because nowadays it's just
especially nowadays.
there's
right?
such a bad rap, dude. Right? They think every cop's out here suited up to go kill a black guy, right? Like it's not even like that, dude. I have never responded to a call and worried about a race, dude. Like, it's so stupid, like the media, how they've twisted it, but. Just being involved with my community and just helping people when they're in their low and showing them that law enforcement is there for positive because, when you call the police, dude, what are you calling the police for? Your worst day possible.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's personally your worst day. So like you got to I've held a dead kid in my hands, right?
Yeah.
And have to go respond to a freaking lady who's panicking because her yard gnome was stolen.
Yeah.
Like that is her worst day.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where I'm coming from. So just going out there, just being able to help and make people feel better, I guess, dude.
Yeah, that's
then the
pretty
car
cool.
chases aren't bad.
So they are as fun as they look on TV.
Oh, dude, that is a rush. Just flipping them sirens, dude, and getting in it. Like, all right, dude, here we go. Popping that seatbelt. Like, all right, run. And then I ain't got no cardio, so I'm like, well, I hope he doesn't run far.
It also, I think it like helps a million times more that you're like very experienced in grappling, right?
Yeah. So, dude, I've been in some scuffles where I'm like, I'm able to like do what I need to do and then just just be on top, like relaxed. And they're like, dude, how are you so calm? It's like, because, dude, he doesn't really know what the hell's going on. He's spun out. He's calm. I'm calm. Like, you got to be able to tone it down because I've seen guys like automatically like fight. No, I'm going to shoot this guy. Cool. Back up here, Turbo. Like, kill everybody.
Yeah, man. I don't know who said it, but someone said that all cops should be like a purple belt at the very minimum.
Dude, Gracie is doing a good thing, dude. Have you watched him? He's stance on law enforcement. God, which Gracie it is? I forget all their damn names, but the younger one. He's
Henner.
Yeah, trying to wrap Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in a lot of law enforcement, and I think it's a plus.
Yeah,
like,
dude, that's a great idea.
Arizona Highway Patrol uses a lot of Jujitsu, and they have a guy named that teaches it. His name's Dave Stopke, but he's freaking awesome, dude. Like, there's guys out there that are just. There's some departments that are adapting jiu-jitsu, but I think it's a must. At least blue belt, dude. Like, you got to at least get your feet somewhat wet in jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, because some of these combatives or whatever they want to call them, defensive tactics, they're a freaking joke, dude, and they don't require you to do it very often. I think it's once a year you have to require it for a certain amount of hours, and you're in there and it's a bullshit session, dude. They're not doing any technique, they're not teaching anything. So then a lot of these guys are fat and out of shape, dude. It's like you don't care about your life enough to train, dude, especially nowadays when you're more and more prone to getting into some kind of altercation with somebody. I don't get it, man.
Dude, that's the weirdest part to me, right? Like, because this is like your livelihood. This is what you're doing every day, and then suddenly it's. I'll ask you because I have no idea. Like, what's the likelihood of you having to actually like hold someone down?
Dude, it's a good likelihood. When I worked for the county, I was one person for 5,000 square miles. My backup could take an hour.
Whoa,
so
dude.
You are very likely, depending on the department. Like, I'm going to a city department now, so I'll have 4 or 5 dudes on scene with me.
Okay.
But still, you're in a fight. 5 minutes could feel like forever, dude.
Yeah.
And if you just can't hold somebody down for that long, you're in a world of shit, dude. So I remember holding 2 people down, waiting for my backup. My backup came from Mesquite.
Whoa, dude.
So not even my own department. I had to depend on out-of-state agency to come help my ass, dude.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I remember,
man.
like, fuck, where are they? And I'm even out of breath, dude. Like, holding like,
yeah,
so,
and you're super experienced.
Yeah, so, dude, I don't know. I feel like every cop freaking needs to train, dude. They need to care for themselves a little more.
Yeah,
dude.
that should be like a requirement from the department,
Yeah.
right?
So at Fusion, we do have quite a bit of cops. I mean, some of them won't tell you they're cops, but we have quite a bit of cops that come up and train, and I freaking love it. I'm always on them, dude. Like, you need to be here more. Go tell your buddies.
That's the other part of it, right? Like, because from my understanding is not many cops do it, but then at Fusion, there's like so many of like I've met like 4 or 5 cops, and they're all training there, and it's like, oh man, like it's you're kind of biased because like, oh, you see all these people training, and then it's like, but no, that's not the norm. So
yeah, well, one of our black belts is a freaking cop, and he's awesome. That dude's just a big old freaking monster, man.
Dude, he wrecked my ass one time, man. it was ridiculous.
It's not fair, dude, because he's a badass wrestler too, and he teaches wrestling in town. So for St. George, or he teaches. Is he high school? I think he's a high school coach, but he's just a big old freaking man, dude.
Yeah,
right?
dude, and he has no mercy either. It's like, oh man, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna roll with it. I remember I was talking to Radley once. He's like, oh, dude, you should roll with that guy. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. And it's like
bad idea.
Boom, like just smash, man. It was ridiculous. I had no. I mean, I knew I had no chance, but the moment he grabbed my gi or whatever, I know it was no gi. So the moment he just grabbed me, I'm like, ah, shit, this is not gonna go well.
As soon as I get top position on that guy, I'm like, all right, just maintain it. That's all you gotta do. You're already out of breath. Dude, he's a monster.
Yeah, man.
I'm a little guy, so he just throws me around.
You're like maybe like 5 feet taller than he is.
No way, man. I don't know how tall he is. I want to say Carson's like 6 foot at least.
He's 6 foot?
I don't know. I'm terrible, right? Because I'm 6'5", so I'm like, that
everybody.
guy's average tall. Like, I just think everybody's average. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you're just looking down at everybody.
But he's like freaking big, dude.
He's big,
and
man.
he's not fat, dude.
No,
he's straight
muscle.
stocky, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like crushing out over here. Like, no, he's got muscle.
No, dude, and he's like very mobile too. Like, you wouldn't think someone like that would be that mobile,
dude,
but he's
for
like
a big dude. He moves, man.
Yeah, man. It's I did not see it coming. I mean, I saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming at the same time, man. So out there in Arizona, Paige, now, do you know anything about what you're gonna do?
I don't know anything, man. I'm just gonna get in a cop car and go patrol. That's about all I know.
Yeah.
I don't even know much about the town, man. I've heard good things, but I don't know much about it. I know it's pretty touristy during the summer, and then Lake Powell. I mean, but I don't know anything about the town, and I'm ready for a change, man.
Yeah. You tired of St. George?
I hate St. George, and I've hated it since I've been here, dude.
Really?
My wife convinced herself she liked it for a little bit, but it was this or Bullhead City, so we chose to come up here because I thought it was going to be great. And when I came up here and I worked for the department, dude, I had some awesome supervisors, but besides that, I freaking hated every moment of it.
Yeah? So what you hate is like the actual department?
I hated the department. I hated the town. I just think it's super crowded. Yeah, it's just overpopulated, man.
Yeah.
Fusion MMA, if it wasn't for Fusion, man, I freaking would have hated it even more, dude. But I still have Jujitsu, so that's cool.
Dude, that was my saving grace in the beginning, dude. Like, because when I first moved here, I do stand up, right? And there is nothing here, like absolutely nothing. And I was trying to start an open mic at the time, and then COVID hit, and I'm like, oh man, I'm going crazy. I don't have anything to do. And then somewhere around, and what's funny is like I was gonna join Jake Johnston's gym before I'm like, I only want to do jujitsu. I don't need any MMA. So I'm like, I'll just go to the jujitsu place, and then that closed down, and so I end up going to Fusion. I'm like, which was, I mean, bad circumstances for Jake, right? But in my case, I'm like, oh, I'm actually kind of glad that I ended up there because it's such an awesome place, right? And then you got everything to do. And then suddenly I'm like training jiu-jitsu 6 times a week. Yeah. And man, and I'm like, oh, this is what I needed. And then stand-up started to pick up a little bit. But without jiu-jitsu, I was like, I'm going to kill myself. I got nothing to do, man. Because, I got my brother-in-law and I got a few friends here that they like to do like rock climbing and canyoneering and all that stuff. But like you need people to do that to go to jiu-jitsu. I mean, you still need people, but I could just drive there and then people are there.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah, a dude I worked with when he moved here, he's like, "Oh, you hate it because you have nothing to do here," and because he's all into mountain bikes and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't care about any of that, man. But I got jiu-jitsu, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
It's like heroin. Like I just can't give it up, man.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah,
so good. I was I went to Florida for like 2 weeks, right? And that was all I was planning on, like not doing jiu-jitsu. And then the day I got back, my shoulder got injured.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was out for like 3 weeks. And then I'm like, okay, I'm back. And then it was Christmas break. And then I got what I think was COVID. I don't know if it was. I tested twice. It said negative. But, dude, that was rough. So I was like out for 2 more weeks. So now I'm here. And it's like, dude, I want to go train. Like, I need to go train. And I went back this week, and dude, my cardio is in the toilet.
Dude. It's a different cardio too, right? Than going on a run and stuff like that, because you're using every muscle,
every single
body.
fiber, man. It's ridiculous. And if you're not like doing it constantly, it goes away like that.
Right.
Oh, man.
What happened to your shoulder? You were rolling with Gene, right?
No, it was Nate, dude. You know Nate, he's a 4th stripe now, but I guess he's also moving. He got a job in some sort of police department or something.
Oh, Nate. Yeah. He's going to where I just came from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hooked him up with that, man. He's
cool.
cool.
He's
a
taking
good
your
kid.
job.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a good dude, man.
He talks to me every day. He talks a lot. Just kidding, Nate. No, he's a good kid, man. I like him. He's a really good kid. Yeah.
But he likes to go hard though. Like he's like super tension, right? And then so what happened was I was rolling with him. He's like, I know he likes to do all this like he does like unconventional stuff too. So I'm like just gotta keep an eye on whatever he's doing. So I'm just like, okay, here, don't do this, don't do that. And then suddenly, dude, I have a guard pass that like I put my arm in between the other person's legs and I smash my shoulder down.
Right.
And then I just move around. So that's what I was doing. But before I even was able to smash my shoulder down, he tried to armbar me in the weirdest way, which made my shoulder go this way, and his leg was going that way, and that popped it out.
Gotcha.
And then Coach and Uber, like they came and popped it back in.
Right. I think I was showing a technique or something, and then all of a sudden I heard you like yell, and I looked over, and I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, dude. It
can't break game though, man. I had to keep coaching.
Yeah, man. But it's funny because seeing you coach is interesting because like you're always making like a little joke here and there, and I find that very amusing. But nobody laughs, and you're like, but what's funny to me is like your joke is funny, but the way you react to it is even funnier to me. And you're like, oh, okay, thanks, all right, and like, and that I always find that even more amusing because it's like you don't even let the class respond to your joke.
Because I don't know, man. Jiu-jitsu is supposed to be fun, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them people, if you sit in there and you coach, like they just are so serious, right? They're like, oh, you can't laugh. Like, it's like, no, dude, I'm always goofing. Like I told you, like I'm insecure when I teach, right? You know, like, so like I want a good interaction. I just want everybody to be as cool and calm and collective as they possibly can. Like some of these guys just get so uptight, like, oh my gosh, it's not funny. It's a serious business.
Yeah, just trying to choke people.
Yeah.
How long have you been coaching?
Years. I've been coaching a long time. I used to teach kids wrestling. I was teaching kids jiu-jitsu for a while. Back home in Victorville at Universal Grappling Academy, I was teaching over there, and then on and off. And then when I went to Ely, I ran my own little gym. I had a couple guys in jiu-jitsu. I belted 2 blue belts, I think it was, and then when I moved here, I started coaching. But yeah, I've taught MMA and jiu-jitsu and stuff on and off for years.
Do you miss the actual like striking aspect of it?
I do, yeah. So they're I'm talking to Ace, so I possibly might fight coming up.
Okay.
But I don't know. I do miss it. Once in a while I'll jump in there with Christian and all those guys and see how good I really am.
Yeah.
Not. But yeah, so I'll spar and stuff once in a while, and unless Jeremiah comes in, then I try to avoid that guy. That guy just naturally hits so freaking hard, dude.
Yeah, dude,
if he does jiu-jitsu, man, his overall game would be awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a scary kid.
Dude, I saw him fight once, and the way he just like freaking got the guy's chin and just knocked him out cold, I was like,
yeah, I cornered him for that fight, right? Was that Hurricane?
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. I remember hearing that dude crack that dude in the face, and his face just exploded with blood. And I'm like, that's why I don't fucking spar with that guy. Because he, like, tries to lighten up, but he just naturally hits hard. The first time he hit me. I was like, God damn, that's just the way he hits, man. Like,
yeah.
there is no light for that guy.
Tap for this guy.
And then everybody that comes in and tries to go hard with that guy, they always get a busted nose.
That's a bad idea. Why do you go hard with the guy that's
Oh,
known
man.
for going hard?
I always mess with him, but I'm like, if you learn some freaking, if your jiu-jitsu improves, dude, you are gonna be a monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good kid.
Do you roll still? Like, I see you rolling every once in a while, but I feel like you're just doing it because you're like, I'll just, okay, come on, man. Because, like, someone came and asked you or something like that. Do you still enjoy doing that aspect of it?
I do. I enjoy to roll. I've had a lot of injuries, right?
Mhm.
But I still roll. So, like, I'll be very selective on who I roll with.
Yeah.
Not to try to hide or anything, but, like, the lower belts, I just try to stay away
I
from.
know exactly what you mean.
Because I'll be getting elbowed or kicked in the face. I think last white belt I rolled with, he literally freaking kicked me in the face.
Ooh.
Like, because he wants to stand up. Let's go hard. And then you're like, God,
No,
dude.
dude.
And then, like, if you roll light with a white belt, like, then they think that
They think
they're
can beat
dominating you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, I almost had you, bro.
No.
Like, like Wu went around telling people he tapped me out.
Really? Oh, man.
I had him going, and it's like, yeah, you did, man. You got me fair and square.
Yeah.
You know, and then Pincus was like, dude, stop building his head up. I'm like, no, it's funny.
Because, oh, man, that guy's a hoot, man.
We call him Master Wu.
So, because that's the other thing, right? Because, like, I learned real quick, like, you got to be very selective who you roll with, man. Because the other part is, like, the people that I kind of, like, get annoyed with, they're like, all right, let's go easy. And then they try to, like, freaking pummel you immediately. I'm like, well, what happened to going easy, man? And then suddenly you got to turn it up a little bit, and then they realize,
Right.
oh.
So, like, yeah, I'll pick some of the blue belts, like, depending on who it is. Like, Gene, I'll stay away from unless I'm feeling, like, okay that day.
Yeah.
But, like, I primarily, like, if you see me, I'll be rolling with Zane or Christian or something.
Yeah,
or,
someone that...
Matt, when he comes in, the brown belt.
Yeah.
Real sexy guy.
Yeah, he's a nice fella.
Or I'll roll with Pincus and Ace, like, when it's a smaller class. Because once I grab Ace or Pincus or something, then all eyes are on us, right? Like, the black belts are going at it.
Yeah.
So I try not to do that during, like regular sessions and stuff, you know. I just don't want everybody stopping their rolls to stare at us.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll roll,
trying to roll.
Yeah, I'll roll with Zane and stuff like that because Zane really will freaking push your cardio, man. So I like getting rolls with guys like that.
Doesn't get tired.
Dude, he doesn't. He doesn't freaking stop, dude. Every time I put him in something, he's outputting me in something. I'm like, dude, you're evil, man. And then Christian's the same way. Like that dude's they're both cardio freaking machines, dude.
Yeah,
so
man.
I like rolling with those guys. And then Feisty, when he comes in, that's always a good time.
Yeah,
I'll put him in a little pretzel and stuff. And he just enjoys it. So,
and dude, he's literally so feisty, man. It's
dude,
like,
he is. And he's just got that little man game that is just like super pain in the ass, dude. So I enjoy rolling with them.
Yeah, dude, they're so much fun. I haven't rolled with Christian in a very long time, but Zane and Feisty and all those guys, they're so much fun to roll with. I have nothing on them, right? Like I try. Oh look, I got him here, and I didn't get him. Like they let me be in that position, and immediately I know when I'm in that position. Oh, this was a trap, and then suddenly it's like, oh god damn it. I thought I had something, but I didn't have anything.
I'll roll with Nick too. Nick likes to grab me. I don't really have a choice. Like he's just like, hey, get over here. Today's the day. God, and he's fucking strong.
Yeah, he's strong, man, and he's got pretty good technique too.
Yeah, he's getting better and better all the time.
Yeah, I've rolled with you like twice, and both times it was like you're like you're like just looking all over the place. I'm like, I got nothing on it. Like I have nothing. Literally, like you're.
It's because I'm afraid, man. I just don't want no trouble.
Oh man, not afraid of like being embarrassed. Is that what it is?
Yeah, man. If you tap me, all eyes on me, man. So.
Oh, dude, I have nothing. Like literally, I remember trying to grab your lapel, and that's all I did. I grabbed your lapel, and there was no budging whatsoever. I'm like, this is not going to end well. But you're so nice, though. Like, you don't do anything to me. You're like, okay. I mean, I'll put you in a bad position, but it's not going to be anything that hurts or anything like that.
Yeah, I've been there. I just like to roll, man, and then I won't try to freaking dominate somebody. Like, sometimes there's a white belt, like, and they're like, oh, you got to freaking make that guy think that he's not moving you. I'm like, I don't really care. If he wants to go around thinking that, that's cool. I don't care.
What's funny is there's a lot of people that think that, too, right?
There's a couple guys in there now that have white belts on them that got 2 stripes or so, and then they think they're freaking invincible, and then they'll roll with, like, me or Ace or something. Like, I dominated them. It's like, no.
No, they let you do everything, which is.
But they want to think it. That's cool. Whatever, man. Go home, tell your girlfriend you beat up black belts. I don't care. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
I don't have no more ego.
Yeah. Dude, so you got 6 kids, man. What's that like?
I don't know. Ask my wife, man. No, it's interesting, man. Right? I got 4 girls and 2 boys, so I got a lot of estrogen pumping through that place, man. Lots of drama, lots of fighting. This is my road dog, though. He usually goes everywhere with me. But it's cool, man. I love them, dude. They're awesome. Dude, we got a TV now, so we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, we don't have alone time anymore. So, and then I got Snip. So if she gets pregnant, it's not mine for sure.
Okay.
No, but it's cool, man. I like it.
Oh,
my one daughter does jujitsu. And
that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, she's freaking way better than I ever could have dreamed of, dude.
Yeah?
She's just naturally good. She's got a good guard and stuff, and she enjoys the hell out of it, right? And I took her to my last tournament, and she's just like, "Oh, I could have beat that girl. I could have beat him. I could have beat her." I'm like, "Shut up, you ain't shit." But no, she's really good.
Yeah. So how long has she been training?
On and off, few years.
Okay.
So, and then my oldest daughter trained for a long time when she was younger, and then she gave up to it. She gave up on it to play softball, and she's really good at softball. So she's all worried about scholarships and shit now.
Oh, that's cool. You got so your little daughters are athletic.
Yeah. So, and then I got lazy sons. So he does jiu-jitsu too when he feels like it. He tells everybody he goes to ninja school, though. I think he pulls more chicks when he tells them he's going to ninja school.
Hey, man, the kid's gonna have a pretty good game then. So 6 kids, man. I still can't get my head wrapped around that.
Yeah, man, I fit in, dude. I'm not playing. When I lived in Las Vegas or California, dude, everybody would stop and stare at you. Like, you go to Costco and they're like, "Oh my God, is that like, are those all yours? You did that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, she says they're mine, you know. And then when I moved to Utah, no one batted an eye, dude. No one freaking looked twice.
Everybody here's got a baby coming out of their ears. It's so many.
These Mormons just breed like crazy, man. Like, I belong in Colorado City. I just need the extra help that they do.
Yeah. You just need the extra hands here over here.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. 6 kids.
So that's the plus about Utah, man.
Yeah.
Is no one freaking looks at us twice, man. Right? They just keep coming out of the freaking car. Like, see, are you done? Is any more coming out? You got everybody. I think I just do a head count now, man.
Do you got any sleep still, or
I sleep fine. My wife doesn't.
She's doing all the work there.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. So, you fought and then you're a cop. What I know it's different, but coming from you, what's the biggest difference between the job, what's the part you miss the most about fighting? What's the part you miss the most? What you like the most about being a cop, and how do they intertwine?
Man, they're pretty similar, right? Like, I love the action. I love the unknown, right? I mean, fighting's could be 50-50. It could be a puncher's chance sometime. You know what I mean? Like, you can have a really badass dude, and then he's out of shape, and then that dude that's got in better shape that's not as good, he won't stop, right?
Yeah.
I just love the action, I guess, on both sides, right? Being a cop is you never know what's going to happen. Every day's different. They say, "Oh, this is a routine traffic stop," and like when you're watching cops, like, there's nothing fucking routine about it. Like, anything can happen, right? I guess I just love the action, fast-paced, just like fighting, man. Fast-paced action, right? So they're pretty similar to me, and I am not a desk person. Like, if you told me to go work in an office or something, I wouldn't do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do that. I got ADD, man. I can't freaking sit still. So they're pretty similar. I miss fighting. I miss training full-time, and then being in the spotlight, right? I mean, like, I'm very stage fright, so like walking to that cage, having everybody yell, it was like I would zone out like a tunnel, right? And all I see is the cage, and then get in there, and then once the bell rings and that first punch is thrown, man, that's all I'm focused on. I could barely hear my corner yelling at me. I can hear like just like muffled sounds of people yelling, but I miss that, man. That's what I miss.
When are you thinking about fighting then?
I'm not sure. When Ace throws his next show, I think they're talking about April or so, like that.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty fat, so I got to get down some weight. But yeah, I definitely feel like I got one more left in me, man.
Yeah. Okay. How how hard is cutting weight?
It is pretty freaking hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. It is a good portion mental, a lot of self-control, so good discipline with a diet.
Yeah.
So it can be very challenging. And for me, it was always a challenge. Like I have missed weight, and oh, you're fucking unprofessional.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, man. I have missed weight and lost money. But sometimes you get down like that last pound. You're like, it's just 1 pound. But sometimes you are drained dry and you're like, fuck, I got nothing, man. So you try to put a sauna suit on real quick and run around the block. But cutting weight is pretty hard, man. Did you ever follow like Chris Cyborg, watching her cry in the bathtub and shit on the bathroom floor? Dude, it's really that freaking painful, man.
Oh, man. Because like from what I've seen on the outside, I'm not going through that, right? But I see everybody just miserable. It's like, ooh,
it is miserable. Like it's just the worst feeling in the world, man. Especially if you're like me and you're a foodie, man. My dad was a chef growing up, man. Dude, I freaking love food.
Yeah,
like,
dude, food's the best.
That's all Pink I do is stand around the gym and talk about food. It seems like, man. Like I love eating, right? And then like freaking Ace and I were just talking about food the other night when we were standing there training. Like, I guess we should roll, huh? Like, dude, talking about when he went to his trip, Texas, and those big old food. Oh man, I just love it.
Dude, food's the best. Like I don't understand how someone can say, eating sucks. I'm like,
no.
What?
Dude, it's all my wife and I talk about. Is like, when we retire, we're going to Italy. We're going to get so freaking fat on pasta and wine, dude. Like, that's all we talk about. Like, we're like, well, we'll stay healthy right now so we don't die.
Yeah.
And then when we retire, that's all we're going to do is get fat.
All bets are off there.
We're going to get the same freaking haircut and travel, dude. That's all we're going to do.
Oh, man. So when you're cutting the weight, are you doing it in like a gradual thing of like, I'm just gonna like be on a diet for this whole time and then I'll just cut the weight at the end, or are you like doing like a 2-week thing?
It all depended on, like, when I was actively fighting, it all depended on how much time I had. So sometimes I would do like freaking cheerleader diet. I'd be out there puking and shit, but I try to do it gradually. That's the healthiest thing to do. And like I've been after weigh-ins, I've had to IV up just to rehydrate and stuff.
Wow, dude.
So, and it's illegal now, but
oh really?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that anymore. But they don't know. So, but dude, yeah, I was big. I remember walking around at like 220, cutting down to 185. So
whoa, dude, that's a big cut, man.
Dude. Well, you got guys like, dude, Joe Stevenson, dude, was huge, bro, and he'd cut down to 155. Like, he was big, dude, man.
Ooh, dude.
He's just a fucking stud, dude. Like, he can, dude, he's just naturally good at everything he does. But like, guys like that were big, dude, walking around, and that was the thing, dude. Just be as big as you can and cut to the lowest weight class you can. You know, like
how fast does that like go back into your system once you start hydrating again?
Man, for me, it always felt pretty good. Like, I was always pretty quick, but I'm weird. Like, I don't get hungover or none of that shit. Like, so I don't know. My body always adjusted pretty good. Some dudes would just die, be miserable, man. Like, be super weak and not hydrated. But I think it just depends on the person and how well your body's adjust to doing that, you know? And over time, it's going to beat you up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. That seems like it's not healthy at all.
It's not healthy at all, dude. And over time, like I said, you'll get beat up. And freaking now, dude, I can't even cut 5 pounds, dude. Like, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I'm going to cut weight, dude. Like, I've been gradually doing it just in case I do fight. But I just gradually try to diet and stuff like that, dude. And my wife's the same way. We're like, dude, fuck this. Let's go eat. So, like, it's hard, but you know, I try, and like I was like 315, 320 not that long ago. Now I'm back down to 290. So I'm trying, man. It's freaking dude, hard.
That's pretty good, so, man.
Stress, man. Food.
Hey, man, you gotta. It's nice to eat, man. What I do, like I stay on a strict diet, like from Monday through Friday, and then like Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. All bets are off, man. So it's like I'll just eat whatever. So my weight fluctuates between like 10 pounds on the weekend. So like, I gain like 10 pounds every weekend, and then I lose it back pretty much like on Tuesday.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the best part, like, about moving to St. George. Like, there's not a lot of culture here. There's not a lot of good food. So it's like, it's whatever. It's the same shit. Like, do you want Del Taco or Taco Bell tonight? Like, there's not a lot of choices here, man. Vegas, it was like, oh my God, there's too much. I got to eat everything right now. Like, there was way too much food there, man. And when I first moved to my first year in Vegas, I probably gained 20 fucking pounds, dude. There was so much good food, dude.
Yeah, and it's like in every corner, right? Like, 'cause
everywhere.
I remember in LA, like, I think that's the biggest thing. There's two things I miss about LA, like having every single restaurant in every corner, and the stand-up scene. That's all I miss from there.
Dude, I miss going to stand-up comedy, dude. And we used to go all the time, dude, because we had like, you know, the Laugh Factory or whatever. I don't remember all the shows, but
all the
I saw
places.
Joe Rogan in L.A. like all the time. Joey Diaz would open for him,
Yeah.
dude. That's fucking hilarious, dudes, right?
Yeah.
And then we moved to Vegas. We still had comedy. Then we moved here, and I'm like, there ain't shit to do here,
Yeah.
man. Like nothing we like. That's how my first date with my wife was to a comedy show in Ontario at Improv.
Okay.
Dude.
I
We
know
saw
where that is.
Sebastian Maniscalco,
Dude,
or however you say
he's-
that.
He's so good.
Dude, and he was like a nobody back then, dude. Oh my god, I couldn't stay in my seat, man. I was laughing
Yeah.
so hard. My
Yeah.
buddy that I went, dude, fell out of his chair. Like, dude, it's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Then we moved here, and I didn't hear about comedy until you were like, "Hey, come to my show," and I'm like, "There's comedy here?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god,
dude.
something we can do." Then I finally made it out to see you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Hilarious, dude.
It
Go
was
see
fun
this
to
guy.
have you guys there, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm terrible at comedy shows, so I get to drinking and shit and start yelling shit.
you become the heckler there.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
all right, man. Like you were a pretty good audience member there. Like I didn't see you guys messing anything up.
No, you guys were funny, dude.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that, dude. Man, what? Where can people follow you on the social media?
I had too many girls on Facebook, so I can't have that anymore. No, I got Instagram right now
Okay.
at Karsky28.
At Karsky28. So follow Paul Karsky at Karsky28. Everybody, dude, thanks for coming on.
Dude, I appreciate you having me, dude. This is a freaking beautiful place, dude. I was checking out your view, man. I'm jealous.
Thanks, man.
But-
Great having you on, man, and so much fun having you here, dude.
Dude, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me out, man.
All right, see you
So-
later, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
That's it for the show, everybody. If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe. Follow me at Khalu2 on Instagram, KHALU2, and Paul at Karsky28, KARSKY28. That's it for the show, everybody. Love y'all. Bye-bye.